47% increased weapon damage. That is what we get from the latest talent Streamline, well, Perfect Streamline, when we don't have any skills on cooldown. This is the latest named AR, the Lud, and it comes with the talent Perfect Streamline. So this 47% increased weapon damage only works when we don't have skills. That also includes the shield. This is something I actually overlooked in the last build that I made with Streamline, and it makes sense. When I was using the shield, it kind of didn't feel like it was hitting as hard. I didn't question it, but now, luckily, someone in the comments of the last video gave me the correction, gave me the info. I really appreciate it, and I can really see the difference now. So with this build, we are not using any skills, or at least trying not to. Of course, you're going to use skills if you desperately need to, if you're in a bit of a mess and you kind of need to survive or get out. That's understandable. You're just sacrificing a lot of weapon damage when you do, and those skills are on cooldown. Now, this gun has a pretty small mag compared to if you're like me and you're used to using like the St. Elmo's engine or even the Eagle Bearer. It's only 45 bullets in the mag. So because of that, I didn't want to really focus on increasing the mag size. I felt like I would have to dedicate and sacrifice too much to do that. So I just focus on having as much damage as possible with those 45 bullets. Now, because we were focusing on damage, I decided to pair this new named weapon with the Negotiator's Dilemma gear set. The reason why is we get 15% critical hit chance, 20% critical hit damage, and then the 4-piece talent for hostile negotiations. It's obviously great. If we're hitting an enemy with a critical hit, they gain a mark, and if you have multiple enemies that are marked, they will all take damage as long as the person you're shooting at is marked. Pretty awesome. I don't really think I need to explain it. Most people should know how this build works. And with that being said, we're using the book bag. The reason why is other marked enemies that we're not shooting only take 60% of the damage dealt. But now with the book bag, that increases it to 112%. So if I mark an enemy, I shoot 2 guys, focus on the third guy. As I'm shooting the third guy, the first 2 guys I shot at and marked are taking 112% of that damage that I'm putting onto the third guy. Pretty awesome. This honestly helps so much, especially when you're playing alone and you're doing open world stuff where enemies can come from anywhere and everywhere. Having this little talent helps out, helps with some crowd control. It's really great. Now, after the gear set, we decided to use our old reliable on the chest piece, which is our Grupo Sombra chest piece. This gives us, of course, on the brand set critical hit damage. We have this rolled with double crit, and we have a mod on there, critical hit damage mod, and of course we have the talent Obliterate. Critical hits increase our weapon damage by 1%. This stacks up to 20 times, an extra 20% increased weapon damage. Of course, that was the focus. Damage, damage, damage. And Obliterate does the job for that. Now, the mask was something I was kind of all over the place about. At first, I had the Chill Out mask, so I could put 2 critical hit damage mods on there. I think I had a Cheska mask at some point, or even a Walker Harris mask. But I ended up deciding on the Coyotes mask. The reason why is, just like all those other masks, I do have double crit on it already, and instead of getting a brand set bonus, I thought I can just get an entire talent instead of just a brand set bonus, which this talent comes in pretty clutch because, of course, more damage. Now, as long as we're 0 to 15 meters from enemies, we get an increased 25% critical hit damage. If we're within the range of 15 to 25 meters, we get 10% double crits, and if we're over 25 meters, we get that 25% critical hit chance. That third part, we're not really focusing on, one, because we already have our critical hit chance at max. That's especially if you're not using the world modifier. So getting that increased critical hit chance it's not really a big benefit. Especially like I said, if you're not using the world modifier. I do have it on, so I do get a benefit from it, but still, I feel like 64% critical hit chance or whatever the number is. I will check in a second. It's fine. It's enough. It does enough damage, which at this point, we did all the gear pieces, so I will go to the stats for you. So we're sitting at 65% critical hit chance. That's obviously with the world modifier on, and I can't remember, but this is not a build I was really focusing on to use for the world modifier, so I guess you could just ignore that extra 5% if you don't have it on. This will be sitting at 60% critical hit chance and sitting at 160% critical hit damage. Now, how do we get to those numbers? I'll show you again. We have our double crits on the mask with a crit damage mod. On the chest piece, we have our double crits on there. Brand set bonus, crit damage mod. On the knee pads, they roll to crit damage. On the holster, they roll to crit damage. On the knee pad, same thing, crit damage. As you can see, I don't even have them maxed out. And on the gloves, we have them rolled to critical hit chance. And last but not least, the backpack, critical hit chance on the bag with a crit damage mod. And then we'll get to the secondary, which I have the Ouroboros. I have the Ouroboros just in case I need to take the weapon out. It's probably the hardest hitting SMG I think I have it just on me at the moment. So that's what I have on there. I'm not using it too much unless I really, really need to. Of course, sidearms never getting used. And our specialization will be gunner. Because like I always say, I do like myself that 10% armor on kill. Now, of course, the skills won't really matter because you shouldn't be using them. But of course, I would equip any skills that you may need to use in a pinch. A defender drone, a revive hive, a decoy, anything that just kind of fits your play style and is going to be the most useful to you. I would say go ahead and go for it. But that is it. This is our Lud Dilemma build. It's pretty fun. I'm just mostly using it to get this proficiency there. I know most people, a weapon like this, it's pretty cool. It's a cool idea, no skills. But the whole point of the game is using skills. It's part of the Division agents. It's part of the lore. It's part of everything. So it is pretty cool, but I'm sure most would just probably run something like this just to bring the proficiency up and then just store it away. As I will, but regardless, still pretty fun. Let me know what you guys think of the build. Comment down below. How are you using the Lud? How are you bringing the proficiency up? Are you just donating stuff? Or are you actually going to go out of your way to try to use it? Until next time, I'm going to leave you all with some gameplay.
The sun will be up. Assistance needed.
We'll need to go through the data to figure out what Black Tusk was after. But the important thing is that we got it and they didn't. Well done.
Agent requesting backup.